Good evening, everyone. Myself, Vandana Yadav, working with Lexis and Company as a legal intern, and I will be briefing you about the public interest litigation. We know that there are three organs: one is the judiciary, one is the legislative, and one is the executive. Judiciary, being the sentinel of constitutional statutory rights of citizens, has a very special role to play in constitutional scheme. It can review legislation and administrative actions or decisions on the anvil of constitutional law. For the enforcement of fundamental rights, one has to move the Supreme Court or the High Courts directly by invoking writ jurisdictions of these courts. But the high cost and complicated procedure which is involved in litigation, however, makes equal access to jurisdiction in mere slogan in respect of millions of destitute and underprivileged masses stricken by poverty, illiteracy, and ignorance. Thus, the Supreme Court of India pioneered the public interest litigation, which is popularly known as the PIL, thereby throwing upon the portals of courts to the common man. What is public interest litigation? Public interest litigation refers to the litigation undertaken to secure public interest and demonstrate the availability of justice to the socially disadvantaged parties, and this was introduced by Justice P.N. Bhagwati. It is a relaxation on the traditional rule of locus standi. Before 1979, the judiciary and the Supreme Court of India entertained litigation only from parties which were affected by it, directly or indirectly. However, post-emergency, the Supreme Court began permitting cases on the grounds of PIL, which means that even people who are not directly involved in the case may bring matters of public interest to the court. It is the court's privilege to entertain the application. If we talk about the history of PIL, it all began in December 1979. Kapila Hingorani filed a petition in regard to the condition of the prisoners detained in the Bihar jail, whose suits were pending in the court. The petition was signed by the prisoners of Bihar jail, and the case was filed in the Supreme Court of India before the bench headed by Justice P.N. Bhagwati. The petition was filed under the name of the prisoner Husainara Khatun, and the case was therefore named Husainara Khatun versus the state of Bihar. The Supreme Court decided that prisoners should receive the free legal aid and fast hearings. As a result, 40,000 prisoners were released from jail. Thereafter, many similar cases have been registered in the Supreme Court. And it was in the case of S.P. Gupta versus Union of India that the Supreme Court of India defined the term public interest litigation in the Indian context, though this term does not find its place in the Constitution of India. The concept of PIL is also suited to the principles enshrined in the Article 39A, which talks about the directive principles of state policy of the Constitution of India to protect and deliver prompt social justice with the help of law. P.N. Bhagwati and Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer were among the first judges to admit the PILs in the court. Filing a PIL is not as cumbersome as a usual legal case. There have been instances when letters and telegrams addressed to the court have been heard as PILs. Also, the Supreme Court entertained a letter from the two professors at the University of Delhi. It requested the enforcement of the constitutional right of inmates at a protective home in Agra who lived in inhuman and degrading conditions. Public interest litigation is a rule of law declared by the courts of record. However, the person, the entity filing the petition, must prove to the satisfaction of the court that the petition serves the public interest and is not as frivolous lawsuit bought for momentary gain. S.H. Kapadia, the 38th Chief Justice of India, has stated that substantial fines would be imposed on the litigants filing frivolous PILs. As a tool against the misuse of public interest litigation, the Union Ministry of Law and Justice prepared a law regulating the public interest litigations. And the judgment said, quote, "This court wants to make it clear that an action at law is not a game of chess. A litigant who approaches the court must come with clean hands." Unquote. What is the importance of public interest litigation? Why did we need such a litigation in our judiciary? First of all, the public interest litigation gives a wider description to the right to equality, life, and personality, which is guaranteed under Part 3, which is the fundamental rights of the Constitution of India. It also functions as an effective instrument for changes in the society or social welfare. Through PIL, any public or person can seek a remedy on behalf of the oppressed and raise his voice by introducing a public interest litigation. There has been a controversial study by the social scientist Hans Dembowski, who concluded that PILs have been successful in making official authorities accountable to the NGOs, while Dembowski also found some effect at the grassroots level. Now, anything which is introduced, it has its pros and cons. The public interest litigation also has its advantages as well as disadvantages. We'll talk about the landmark public interest litigation cases. First is the Vishaka versus State of Rajasthan. This case fought against sexual harassment in the workplace and was filed by the Bhavri Devi, who, after trying to stop the marriage of a 1-year-old girl in rural Rajasthan, was raped by 5 men. She faced numerous problems when she attempted to seek justice, and Naina Kapoor decided to file a public interest litigation on her behalf. The second case is of MC Mehta versus Union of India. The court shut down numerous industries and allowed them to reopen only after controlled pollution disposal in the Ganga basin. There have been questions regarding whether public interest litigation is a boon or is a bane. In PIL, vigilant citizens of the country can find an inexpensive legal remedy because there is only a normal fixed court fee involved in this. Though it is true that there has been abuse of PIL along its extended and multifaceted use, the abuse of public interest litigation has become more rampant than its use, and genuine causes have either receded to the background or began to be viewed with suspicion generated by the spurious causes mooted by privately motivated interest in the disguise of the so-called public interest. But for the regulation of such abuse, the Apex Court itself has framed certain guidelines. The court must be careful to see that the petitioner who approaches is acting bona fide and not for personal gain or private profit or political or other oblique considerations. Public interest litigation has not been defined in any statute or in any act. It has no place in the Constitution of India, as I told you earlier. It has been interpreted by judges to consider the intent of public at large. There are various areas where a public interest litigation can be filed. For example, violation of basic human rights to the poor, content or conduct of government policy. Third, compel municipal authorities to perform a public duty. Fourth is the violation of religious rights or other basic fundamental rights. Overall, looking at the pros and the cons of public interest litigation, I think that it is like a spiritual presence in law because it gives a voice to the oppressed people of India. Thank you.